Hi everyone, Shelly here. Today I'm going to share with you a gentle slow flow class. Most of the class will be down on the mat. However, we will have some standing postures and an opportunity for a little bit of challenge. As always, if you have a couple blocks, go ahead and grab those. They come in handy. And when you're ready to get started, go ahead and meet me on your back. So as you come down onto your back, go ahead and take the feet a little wider than the hips. For some of you, that'll be to the edges of the mat, and then knock the knees in. So feet wide enough to create a gentle release in the low back, and just rest the arms alongside you. Maybe roll the palms open. Allow the eyes to soften and close. And take these first few moments just to sink into the pressure of the ground beneath you. And as you start to turn your gaze inward, just scanning the body, kind of looking for those tighter, tense spaces, those heavy places. Maybe that feeling of fidgeting or that busy feeling in the mind. And then begin to draw all your attention and awareness to resting on the movement of your breath. And with your mind's eye, seeing the lungs filling with the inhale bottom to top, and emptying on the exhale top to bottom. Just continuing to follow that movement for a few rounds of breath. Good. And on your next exhale, go ahead and just knock that left knee in. So right knee kind of stays towards the direction of the ceiling. You likely feel a little bit of stretch in that outer hip and left side body. Inhale, bring the knees back to neutral, and then exhale, knock the right knee in. Good, inhale back to neutral, and then just changing sides. Kind of moving with your breath. Pausing in those tight spaces you find along the way. Good. And let's take one more round. Beautiful. Come on back to that neutral place. Walk the heels towards the sit bones. Plant the palms. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky, that gentle bridge pose. Kind of pressing up through the thighs, out through the shins. And with that muscle contraction starting to draw blood flow, warming up that area. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths. Good. On the exhale, go ahead and lower the hips down. And then adding the arms on the inhale, lift the hips. If available, arms reach overhead. Exhale, lower down, bring the arms down. Inhale, up and reach. Exhale. here, go ahead and hug your right knee into your chest. Left leg extends long. And just start to take some circles with that leg. You might start small, grow a little bigger as you go along here, and then change direction. Beautiful. Go ahead and hug the knee back in, interlace the hands behind the thigh, extend the right heel towards the sky. And kind of warming up the hamstrings a little bit. Press through that heel, take a breath in, and then exhale, bend the knee. Inhale back to the top. Exhale, bend. You can kind of feel those muscles working under the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lengthen. This time, walk the hands up the leg. Kind of gently pulling back, enough to feel stretch. Not so much to feel overwhelmed. Good. And go ahead and bend the knee, grab the outside of the foot, coming into this half happy baby. Now if you have a strap and you're having a hard time getting the outside of the foot, you can wrap that strap around the foot and kind of pull the knee towards the armpit. Try and keep that left hip nice and rooted. Good. Rebend the left knee, cross the ankle over the thigh, and just kind of press that knee back and forth. Good. And that might be enough stretch for you right where you are. You might place the left foot on a block, or just pull the knees into the chest. And we'll make this first one active. So flex through both feet. Press the right leg into the left leg. And then just release into that stretch. Good. And go ahead and release the left leg long. Right foot to the mat and just a gentle bridge pose. Inhale, lift the hips, just resetting the spine. Good, and we'll change sides. Hug the left knee into the chest. Extend that right leg long. Start to take a few of those circles. Good. Come back through center and changing direction. Good. And go ahead and wrap the hands behind the thigh. Glue the thigh to the chest and then extend the heel towards the sky. So that energetic pressing of the heel muscles working. And then a little bit of movement. Exhale, bend the knee nice and slow. Follow your breath. Inhale back to the top. Exhale. Inhale. Just kind of welcoming some circulation to the leg. Inhale. Good. And we'll take one more. And then walk the hands up that leg, pulling back just enough to feel resistance, to feel a stretch. But not so much to overwhelm the breath. Place a soft bend in the knee, grab that outer edge of the foot, and then press the sole of the foot to the sky. Half happy baby. Again, you can always use that strap if you're having a hard time reaching the foot. Good. Rebend the right knee, cross the left ankle over, and just press the knee in and out. Again, this might be enough stretch in that left hip if you need that extra. Pull the knees towards the chest. Once you get there, flex both feet. Good. And kind of press that right shin into the hands, hand into shin, left leg into the thigh. Drawing some blood flow. Good, and then just release into that stretch. You might find a little more room there now. Go ahead and unwind the legs, hug both knees into the chest, flex through the feet, round your forehead towards your knees. Press out through the heels, shin into hands, hands into shins. Good. Lower all the way down, and then from here, take the fingertips behind the ears, just resting the back down on the mat. And go ahead and plug the lower back into the mat. So that gentle pelvic tilt and gluing the low back to the mat. See if you can keep it there. Inhale, tap the right toes down to the mat. So it takes a lot of focus to keep the low back nice and plugged in. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, left toes tap. Exhale, back to neutral. Side to side you go. That focus in the low back. See if you can keep all your attention there. Good, let's take one more each way. Beautiful. Now from here, go ahead and bring the fingertips up to the sky. And a little more core engagement. Once more, plug the low back in. And you can go back to those toe taps. If available, extend the right leg long. So only long enough, again, if you feel the low back pulling up, place a bend in the knee, and that's as far as you go. Exhale, come back. Inhale, lengthen the left leg. Exhale, come back, changing sides. Moving with your breath, inhales, you lengthen. Exhales, you come back to neutral. Side to side. And if you need a little extra, adding the arms in. So right leg extends long, left arm extends long. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, left leg long, right arm long, back to neutral. These are called dead bugs. And see if you can move through just a couple more rounds. Really nice. Hug the knees in. Take the arms out to a T and just drop those knees over to the right. Left shoulder gets heavy towards the mat. Good. Inhale back through center, changing sides. And go ahead and come into that fetal posture on the left. Plant your right hand, press yourself up to seated. So coming into this comfortable seat here, and mindful of the low back. If you feel like you're kind of being pulled back, rounding through the back, or stuck in the hips or the legs, you can place a block underneath the bum, kind of elevating the hips a little higher than the knees, and that might help the low back out a bit. Once you get to that comfortable place, take a big deep breath in through the nose, lift the arms. And on the exhale, take a twist to the right. And as you inhale, imagine the spine lengthening through the top of the head. And as you exhale, maybe you find a little more rotation. Good. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, take a twist to the left. Good. Inhale, back through center. This time side bend to the right. So right hand plants maybe onto the forearm, and then reach through the left fingers, pressing the left sit bone down towards the mat, staying nice and anchored. Inhale back through center, get tall, maybe look up, and then change sides. Good. Inhale back through center, moving with the breath now. Take a twist to the right, exhale fully. Inhale back through center, look up. Exhale, twist to the left. Good. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, take that side bend to the right. Good. Come on back through center, side bend to the left. Good. Take one more round on your own. Inhale and twist to the right. Inhale, twist to the left. Good. Inhale, get tall, side bend to the right. Good. Back through center and side bend to the left. Beautiful. Inhale, come back through center. This time on the exhale, come forward. So you might plant the hands and walk out onto the forearms. If you have a block handy, possibly placing it under the forehead, and just allow that low back to release. Let's take a few breaths here. coming through to a table posture. Plant the hands, coming to hands and knees. Check in with your alignment, shoulders stack over wrists. Take a peek back, toes in line with knees, so you won't see the toes behind the knees. And a few rounds of cat-cow, starting the movement at the tailbone, tip the tailbone up, belly flattens on the inhale. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone round through the mid-back, tuck your chin. And inhale, rewind, big breath. Exhale, tuck and around. Take a couple more on your own. Good. Come back through that neutral table and a few full body circles. Go ahead, take a big breath in. Exhale, sink your right hip back towards your right heel. Swing it to the left. Come on forward into the wrists. And sink it back and around. Maybe even closing the eyes. And just allowing the breath to move you through the range of motion. And changing direction. Left hip towards left heel, bring it around. Good, come back through that neutral table. Tuck your toes under and then sit your hips back towards your heels. Now, this might be as far as you go. That is a lot of stretch into the toes, into the arch. So possibly breathing here. If you have the space, walking the hands up, maybe getting a little taller, a little more stretch into the foot. And then some of you will walk it back. My feet are not in that space today, so this is where I will stay, unless I'll take a few breaths wherever you land. Good. Go ahead and come back forward, flip those feet over. And from here, tuck your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And just go ahead and pedal it out. And walking yourself into your hips. Good. Inhale, rise to the toes. Bend your knees, step or hop your feet forward to your hands. Feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, slowly roll the spine up. At the top, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, palms to heart center. Good. Another big breath in, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the left hand, place a bend in the left knee. Inhale, reach the right fingertips to the sky. Good, and change sides. Good. Plant that hand, step the right toes to the back of the mat. Find this runner's lunge. You might come up onto the fingertips. And then make that left leg really active. Press down through the left footprint. Good. Drop the back knee. Sink the hips back. Half-seated splits. You can always kind of lift the chest a little. That's a lot of stretch for you. If you need a little extra, bring the toes back towards you. Good. Inhale, come forward into this grounded crescent. Good. Kind of stretching into the hip flexor there. And from here, we're going to come into a twist. Good. Now we're gonna work this thoracic range of motion, so that mid-back range of motion. Take a big breath in, feel your left fingertips, and then exhale, bring it palm to palm. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, palm to palm. Again, inhale, exhale. Swing the arms behind you, tuck the back toes, rise up to this lightning bolt pose. Good. Long spine. Good. Plant the hands and step that right foot to meet the left foot. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, slowly roll the spine up. Arms to the sky, big breath. Palms to heart center. Good. Another big breath in. Exhale, fold. And take a twist to the right. Exhale, plant that right hand. Inhale, change sides. Good. Plant that hand. This time, step the left toes to the back of the mat. Find that long runner's lunge. Use your fingertips to help you. And then once you've got that good space, activate the right leg. Press the foot down into the mat. So in yoga, we build a lot of our strength with these isometric contractions. So even though the muscles aren't necessarily moving the joints, still building strength with those contractions, hugging the muscles onto the bones. Good, really nice. Drop the back knee, sit back, half-seated splits. Maybe you curl those toes back towards you. Good. Carry the weight forward. Find that crescent lunge. So staying on the back knee, a little bit of a hip flexor stretch here. Good, and take that twist to the right. Good. Tall spine, and then working that mid-back rotation, big breath in. Exhale, bring right palm to left palm. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, palm to palm. Pressing down through the right foot. Inhale. Good, bring it back palm to palm. Swing the arms behind you. Tuck the back toes right up into that lightning bolt pose. So definitely into that challenge right now. You might feel that right leg shaking. See if you can breathe through it. Just that rhythmic nature of the breath, calming the nervous system down. Let's take one more. Beautiful. Plant the hands. Step that left foot to meet the right foot. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale. Arms to the sky. Look up. Exhale. Palms to heart center. Next inhale, go ahead and bend your knees, hips sink back, and then lift the arms to the sky, that chair pose. Tailbone is long, keep the low back safe. Good. And with a little bit of balance now, go ahead on the inhale, press down through the right foot, lift the left knee, coming into majorette. Palms can stay here at heart center. They can come to the hips. If you want a little extra balance, they go straight up, kick the leg out. So find kind of your place where you feel challenged, but not overwhelmed. Breathe here. Good, and then just bring that leg out to the left, place the sole of the foot inside the right leg, coming into tree pose. So just mindful of the knee joint. You want that foot above or below. And it's often in this one we want to kind of dip into the right hip. So press down through the heel, press the foot into the leg, leg into foot, and kind of grow the length of the spine. Good. And airplane pose, bring that knee back to neutral. Lean forward as you kick the leg back. And sometimes it helps to keep the hands on the hips, showing you where to go in terms of squaring the hips to the mat. That right hamstring is really tight, you're losing your balance. You can always place a soft bend in the knee. Breathe, breathe. Good, bring that left foot to meet the right foot. Bend your knees, lift your arms, chair pose. This is our last little bit of challenge here. Beautiful, all the way into that left foot, palms to heart center. Inhale, rise up to your majorette. Notice if you're clenching your left toes. You tend to want to grip and hold on, but see if you can soften the toes. You might find your balance a little steadier. Some of you will take on that extra challenge of leg out, arms up, maybe somewhere in between. Good, rotate the knee out. Your expression, tree pose. And then engagement, foot into leg, leg into foot. Airplane pose, bring that knee back to neutral. Lean forward as you kick the leg behind. And again, my left hamstrings are a little tighter than my right hamstrings, so the softening of that knee will kind of help you to square the hips. A couple more, you guys. Really nice. Bring that right foot to meet the left foot. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Take the feet about hip distance apart or wider. And then just melt down into this fold. Maybe grab opposite elbows, opposite hands, and just turn yourself into this ragdoll here. You might feel that you develop a natural sway moving with the breath side to side, maybe front to back. Tuck your chin and just dangle here. That's a lot for the low back. Bend the knees. Good. Inhale, lift halfway. Plant the hands. Step back to a plank pose. And hold your breathe here. Beautiful. Drop the knees, sink the hips back, child's pose. And just rest your forehead on your mat. Good. Just feel the low, lengthen the low back. Inhale, come up to table pose. We're going to open the shoulders a bit here. So go ahead and lift the right fingertips to the sky. Kind of noticing your rotation now. You might have more than you're accustomed to, all that work on the mid-back. And then thread the needle, bring it under. And your choice with that left hand, you can take it out to the front of the mat. Some of you have a lot of range. You might take it to the right corner of the mat or bring it into that right back pocket. Good. From here, walk the left hand under the shoulder. Inhale, lift the right fingertips, and we'll change sides. Left fingertips to the sky, inhale. And exhale, thread it under. Come down onto that left shoulder. Your choice with the right arm. Observing where the attention is, where it's spontaneously drawn. And maybe for you at this point in your practice, it's right there on the breath. It's often in those more relaxed states when the mind is a little calmer. The attention just comes to rest right there on the breath. Good. Walk that right hand under the shoulder. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Good. And working into the front of the shoulder now, that puppy dog pose. Keeping hips stacked over knees. Walk your chest out. And some of you might take some blocks and placing the elbows on the blocks, kind of bringing the palms together. You might sink the chest down. So just again, finding kind of your space, your range. And slowly making your way out of this one. Kind of walk yourself back. Set the blocks aside. Good. And from here, we're just going to come through to seated. Once you find that seated posture, extend the legs long in front. And just bring that right sole of the foot inside the left thigh. Left arm comes inside the calf or the ankle, and then inhale, reach the right arm up and over. Good. And then just melt your heart towards the mat. So fingers reach towards the right corner of the mat. Tuck the chin, let the head dangle, and make it easy. left shin parallel to the front edge of the mat, right shin parallel to the long edge of the mat. So we're at 90, 90. You're gonna turn your palms to the left and then walk your chest down. So coming into this deer pose. And some of you have enough room in the spine to bring the chest down to the mat, and some of you will splay the arms. So again, just see where you land. Good, walk the hands up. And from here, you're just gonna swing the right leg around, left sole of the foot lands inside the right leg, and onto the other side we go. So take the right hand inside that leg, inhale, lift the left arm up and over. Good, and then just melt your heart forward. Fingertips towards the left corner of the mat. And for some of you, especially if you're kind of higher up, again, it might feel really good to rest your forehead on a block. Allowing the low back to release. And slowly walk your hands up and bring that right shin parallel to the front edge of the mat, left shin parallel to the long edge. So we've got this 90-90. Turn your torso over your right thigh and then walk your chest down. Coming back through center, swing the legs around, plant the feet, hands behind. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky, reverse table. If it feels good to you, you can tip the head back. Just resetting the spine, all that forward bending. And hips come down. Go ahead and grab your block. You're going to place it right between your feet. So heels can be closer to you, farther away. We're going to make this one nice and easy. So once you've got where you want to be, take a big breath in, kind of pull your ribs up and forward. And then hinging forward, begin to round your forehead towards that block. You might even bring the arms underneath the shins, palms facing up. Rest your forehead on the block and just breathe. awareness to the filling of the inhale, bottom to top, and emptying on the exhale, top to bottom. And as you do that, just noticing the change that happens in the body. Maybe that calming of the mind. Good. Go ahead and slowly make your way out of this one. Roll the spine up and coming down onto your back. You might keep that block handy. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a few rocks side to side, kind of massage into the low back. Working those knees into circles. And we're going to come into a supported candlestick pose. So if, depending on how your back feels, you can not use the block or maybe use the block, but go ahead and if you're using the block, place it underneath the sacrum. So mindful to keep it off the spine. You want it right on that pelvic bone there. And then once you've got that good spot, lift the legs to the sky. So it takes some wiggling sometimes to get the right spot. Once you got it, you'll feel that float happen in the legs. See if you can rest the arms alongside you, roll the palms open. And just breathe here. Inversions especially really help us to access that calming part of the nervous system. So much like that sensation of legs up the wall. And the body finds that place of calm. And you might even notice that in your breath it becomes slower, a more restful breath. Okay, and just bending the knees, plant the soles of the feet on the mat. Inhale comes to the sky, that gentle bridge pose. Set the block aside. Exhale, lower all the way down. And hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze, round your forehead towards your knees. Grab the outsides of the feet, that full happy baby pose. And these first few breaths make it active, so kind of pressing the feet into the hands, pressing the hands down into the feet, working to feel the length of the spine on the mat. Take a couple breaths here. And then just make it easy, maybe rock from side to side. Good. And with the hands either on the shins or the outsides of the feet, just bringing the big toes to touch. So this reclining child's pose. Let's take a few breaths here. Good. All that's left is Shavasana. Go ahead and extend the heels to the corners of the mat. Arms rest alongside you. Take a full deep breath in through your nose. And a gentle, easy breath out. And take rest. Enjoy your rest. I would encourage you guys to stay here up to 5 full minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take 10 breaths with you. Welcoming back some gentle movement. Move the hands and the feet. Gently turn your head side to side. Good. Slide the feet together. Inhale, stretch through the arms. And hug the knees into the chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. And just gently falling over to that left side, that fetal posture. And press yourself up. Comfortable seat, top of the mat. And one last big deep breath together. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, palms to heart center. Thanks so much to each of you for practicing with me. I hope you feel great. Namaste. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.